Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and today we're bringing you another 2 vs 2 for Medieval 2 Total War. Today I shall be in command of Venice, and my ally is Lisi91. He is in command of Milan. Our opponents are Russia under the command of Eden123 Piper, and FriedrichSmith is in command of Spain. Now this fight doesn't go out the way I kind of wanted it to, in that I wanted my ally at this time. I'd messaged him to deploy more along here, because otherwise the Russian player is going to get to the hill quicker, and unfortunately he had already set and deployed his army by the time I sent it to him. So he's too low on the hill, because I knew that FriedrichSmith was going to absolutely run for the hill. I mean, it's just a logical step to take this hill, because otherwise someone else will take it and you'll be able to fight uphill. So you kind of have to take it on a map like this, and as you can see, Friedrich has already aligned his army to face this direction so he can bolt up the hill. So my ally made the mistake of deploying a little too low here, and this does make this harder than I think it needs to be, but anyway, my army consists of, I've got 2 musketeers up front, I have 4 units of pike militia, I think it's 2 Venetian heavy infantry, 4 dismounted feudal knights, 2 stradiots, 2 knights hospitaller, and a bodyguard, and then I believe I think it was 2 puppies crossbowmen as well. That's my army, and of course I've got the the Carraccio standard, although I do believe they're probably not going to be. This is a case, there is always a bit of a case I make with the standard. Standards are superb, they do a lot for your morale. Very good for a defensive battle style and sort of a defensive counter strike style where the standard's always close to your men. But on a map like this, it's not always that great, because you've got to get up to the higher ground and the standard's going to be lagging behind. So sometimes it's not always good. It can be, but it just depends. I had forgotten the kind of layout of this map, so I wasn't entirely sure if it was hilly or not when I was actually on it. So I kind of gambled there and got a bit unfortunate, as did my opponent, my ally. Anyway, his army, I think he's got 2 musketeers as well. I see 2 Genoese crossbowmen, and then here we've got some dismounted broken lances, Smite's Templar cavalry, it's feudal knights. So he's got a mixture of feudal knights and broken lances for infantry. Then it looks like he's got Knights Templar. I really don't, he's got some Famiglia Ducale. I really don't know why people bring Templars over Hospitallers. Maybe it's because their reputation is probably a little more famous than Hospitallers, but Hospitallers are better in this game than Templars. They get more defense points, and they don't have the trait charged without orders, so they do obey your orders better than Templars. And one for one, if you get, even though the stats are the same, you get a Templar and a Hospitaller and they versus each other, Hospitaller will win every time, unless there's some sort of other mitigating circumstance there that interferes with it. But the Templars are, the Templar is an inferior cavalry to the Hospitaller. I don't know why. But if he's going with, he probably should have got more Famiglia Ducale, because it's actually a pretty good cavalry and musketeers well armoured. Let's have a look at the Russian player actually. Up here he's got, let's see, 2 Cossack musketeers and 2 crossbow militia. Cossack musketeers are very good, but they are very expensive too. But I think I limited the rules to 2 guns from this particular battle. Then he's got a front row of, let's see, 3 dismounted Dragoon and 2 British axemen, and then he's got, hold on, so he's got 2 more British axemen in the back, and then he's got I think 3 or 4 dismounted Boyar sons. Then he's got 3 Sars guard and a general's bodyguard. His army is pretty good, however I think he's not brought enough cavalry. He should have brought the full 5, especially with Russia, because Russia's best at cavalry than any other department in its army. Its cav are capable, but its infantry is capable, but it's not as strong as some of the other factions, especially not as strong as our faction, especially mine. FriedrichSmith, I can see 4 dismounted conquistadors out here with, I think, full upgrades. Yep. He has a general's bodyguard, say 2 chivalric knights, probably 2 conquistador cav. Looks like he's got 4 puppies crossbowmen, a couple of musketeers, and probably 4 tertio pikemen. I think that's about the best I can tell out of that jumbled up formation. So we're all going to have to leg it for the hill, which I knew would be the case, because it's just I mean, not that a lot of people want to fight on hills or camp or anything. Some people do, unfortunately, but mostly because you have to be kind of getting that high ground in case someone else takes away from you and you're forced to fight uphill. Now, unfortunately, their terrain gives them the chance to get onto that ground a little quicker than us. However, the Russian player actually withdrew here. This was good for us because this gave us more time. If I were him, I would have rushed up here and caught the Milanese player downhill, and then my Tsar's Guard, if I were him, would have thrashed these 4 Knights Templar. He really had the advantage there. He should have used his Tsar's Guard, and he definitely could have done that because he would have also had a higher terrain for his gun, so I'm not really sure why he withdrew there. But it does give us more time, but Friedrich Smith is not so naive to make that mistake, so he's bolting up the hill with his cavalry as we speak. He's going to deny us a chance to get into position quick enough. I'm seeing my Stratiots to help my opponent's Templars, because I know they're going to, if they get take a fight with Conquistadors, they're going to beat him. So Friedrich, let's see, I think Friedrich was thinking about going for these guys over here. However, he realised he would be too isolated, and he decides to withdraw. The master escapist of cavalry manages to escape from a nasty situation there again. So I'm coming up the hill here. As you can see, these standards lag way behind, and I'm trying to get up here, but I wanted to push a little further, but I knew that Friedrich Smith's cav was here and the Russian cav, and my ally kept going backwards, and I said to him, don't go backwards, because if he goes backwards I need to stick with him, because he's just going to get swamped there. As you can see, the Spanish cav looks to come down. I withdrew because I don't want to fight them uphill. I'm going to try and wait for my ally to get into a fight with them, and then get around behind them with my Stratiots, because we all know how powerful Stratiots are, especially from long melees and stuff. So in a moment I do believe we catch some of Friedrich Smith's guys out here. He's got a bunch of musketeers that I think he must have misplaced, and I thought, rightio, let's go kill these guys right now. I sent a message to my ally, let's kill them. Might as well kill them here while he's made this mistake with them. I think he's realised he's made the mistake, and I think he's just going to get away with it. Some of these guys are going to catch it, but they didn't get their lances down. No fault of my allies there, that's just a stupid glitchy thing that happens in Medieval 2 sometimes. I've got my Stratiots here because I've got to keep an eye on the Russian cav, but he's going to get a really great charge on some of these Spanish cav here. And as you can see, we've already routed the 2 musketeers. Actually, that might be a conquistador that's routing. Yeah, I think we got one of the conquistadors and the musketeers, so that was a really good move from my ally. He caught Friedrich out there. So he's going to take the fight out here, so I'm going to send my Stratiots in behind now, and I'm going to send the second one around here, and all I'm doing is trying to make his Tsar's Guard chase me, because he'll never catch my Stratiots. So I'm going to get the encirclement here. However, I don't get much momentum, but I'm going to get the encirclement, and I'm going to come down here, get rid of some of these Cossack musketeers, an expensive unit. Friedrich Smith's going to kind of disengage here. I'm going to put some cav charges down on his cav. Didn't get huge momentum, but I got a few kills. And I overclicked here, and they sort of started walking for a stage. But I'm going to pull into this fight. As you can see, it routes that Tsar's Guard. I'm going to keep pulling my cav around with my Stratiots there, his cav around with my Stratiots, and then I'm going to charge through here. However, my own pikes interfere with that actually. But Friedrich Smith's fully engaging here. I'm going to use my pikes just to hold him up. It's a bit like an old Macedonian phalanx battle going on here for Medieval 2. Of course, not with the same power, obviously, but nonetheless, it's still pretty effective. One of my Stratiots unfortunately routed there. The second one, though, I'm going to send slamming into the flanks of my opponent. However, they don't appear to be getting a lot of momentum, but I still get a few kills, and I'm going to charge forward some of my infantry here, and as you can see, I'm getting flank charges, get some routes going on some of his dismounted conquistadors here, and it was looking quite good at this stage, I think. We had the advantage at this stage. It was looking quite good. However, we make the unfortunate mistake of losing too much cavalry too soon, and that allows them to actually catch up again later on. As you can see, my feudal knights should be able to hold up this horde of Russians. Even though they're outnumbered, they are superior infantry. Over here, they are pouring in a lot of troops, but my Venetian heavy infantry is very, very good, and we should be able to hold these guys up for quite some time. As you can see, the Milanese infantry is pushing through, but the danger here is the Russian cav and some of the Spanish cav, overwhelming our top cav there, which is dangerous. So I decided to move my musketeers up here. They're going to be firing uphill, but they're getting some flank shots up through here. I'm sending my cav round behind, and I'm getting hammer and anvil strikes against these guys. However, there's a lot of stuff in here, and sometimes charges get a bit disrupted. But we've routed the conquistadors, which is the most dangerous units, and we've got some routes going on these guys, and he's outflanked here. So we've got numbers and superiority in the vicinity, and although some of my pipe militia are giving up, but the danger here is up here. This is where Hospitallers would have been better choice because they would have survived longer. So I decided to pull in an Venetian heavy infantry to hold this up a little longer. Because I'm running hammer and anvil strikes against these Russian troops over here and over here, but overwhelming numbers is actually starting to get through me because it's like 4 versus 2, but my guys are holding up for quite a while, but of course there's this Russian general's bodyguard chasing me around, so I wasn't able to get my hammer and anvils in. Otherwise I would have probably routed them. I do see an opportunity here, so I'm going to get a really nice downhill charge against these Drazina, and I'm going to get a pretty good hit there, which should do a bit of damage. I've got to quickly get out before I get trapped though, and I'm doing the same over here, trying to get lots of strikes in here. We've basically encircled the Spanish and Russian troops here, and we're doing a pretty nice job of mopping them up. But the real danger is up here, where only my Venetian heavy infantry is holding his cav up, and he's going to disengage. Bring up my crossbowmen here. The standards are just too far behind. And as you can see, the thing is, we got a great start there, but we lost a little too much cav too soon. We did have the cav disadvantage, that's for sure, but because they had superior cavalry. But unfortunately, I think if my ally had brought Hospitallers, he would have survived just that little bit longer, and we might have been able to knock out their troops a bit quicker that way. The Russian troops finally break through. 4 versus 2 was just a little too much, and without enough cav support to free it up, which I couldn't do because I had to get away from this general's bodyguard. It's not going to work. So we killed Friedrich Smith's infantry, and most of the Russian infantry has taken severe mauling, but the top flank has been destroyed, and my ally is about to collapse, I think, for the most part. He's got a few infantry bits and pieces left. They're now going after my musketeers. I'm going to let these guys hold them up for a while to see what more damage we can do at this stage. But as you can see, my ally has mostly lost his army. As you can see, it's all routing en masse there. At this stage, he's got his missile units left that are not doing that great. So if he'd brought Hospitallers or more Famiglia Ducale, I think we would have possibly been able to take this fight, because they would have held that cav fight out long enough, and we were actually winning down here. But eventually they just got that cav free and had more cav at the end, and even though we had the advantage, because they had that cav edge at the vital stage, they took the lead, and that's just how much cav affects Medieval 2. I think he admits defeat at this stage, and then I just admit defeat as well. So it was looking good. I thought we had that there for a bit, and because we got that most of Friedrich Smith's infantry routing and a good part of the Russian infantry routing too. But my allies just sort of with that cav up the top there, and I did make a couple of blunders with my Stradiots. I should have supported them closer there. But as you can see, I got a bunch of kills, 808 with 57 captures, so I did take the crown of kills out of all team. My ally did pretty decent with 486, probably not enough though. You probably wanted to be getting into around 600 or late 500s. As you can see, the other two guys, 691 and 597, with similar capture rates. As you see, my two Stradiots, probably not enough kills for them. They probably want to be getting at least 70 to 80 kills. The Hospitallers did very good. The Pikes actually did quite well holding up. Venetian Heavy Infantry, they did not do enough. And my Feudal Knights probably did not do enough either, unfortunately. And of course, to be honest, least missile units would have been more preferable on this map. More infantry and more upgrades on the cav would have worked, and I think we would have had it. But if my opponent had had Hospitallers or Famiglia Ducale, I reckon we might have been able to take this fight. But it doesn't matter, it was a really good one. And it's certainly not like we got our asses kicked. It was really close, and they did have, well, I mean, me and Friedrich had pretty similar faction powers. Spain is a wee bit better, and Russia is also very powerful. Milan was the weaker faction in the link here, but there's not really any weak faction in Medieval 2 by any stretch. And they did have slightly higher terrain, but it was close. I think if my ally had deployed a little higher up on the hill and gone up the hill quicker, I could have sent some cav to help him and support him, and we could have taken the high ground, and I think that would have been a win. And of course, if it had the Hospitallers or Famiglia Ducale in greater numbers. But never mind, a good game to Lisi91 Eden and Friedrich Smith. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I'll be bringing you some more Total War. I think I'll be bringing you some more 31k for Rome next. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you soon next time.